Welcome to episode 1 of the Synagogues of Illinois, outside of Chicago and its nearby suburbs. In this episode, we take a look at the small town of Sterling, Illinois. It is directly due west of Chicago. The main highway to take there is Route 88, as you see the cursor moving back and forth to show you its path. It appears to be more than double the distance to Aurora, so expect that it will take about a 3-hour trip in your car. Below the first third of the graphic is a blown-up detail of Sterling itself as it sits north of the Rock River. The town just south of the river is appropriately called Rock Falls. Rock River flows into the Mississippi River. The census taken about 6 years ago indicates that there is a little more than 15,000 residents, making suburbs of Chicago such as Morton Grove or Skokie more densely populated. The history of the synagogue in this small town of Sterling begins and ends with Temple Shalom. As with many small towns, the makeup of the Jewish citizens of Sterling more than 100 years ago was such that it preferred an Orthodox service and kosher food. As one could probably guess by now, we are looking at the current site of Temple Shalom. After all, how many buildings in such a town in western Illinois has Jewish stars emblazoned on their doors? The first service began around 1906, and by 1912 could afford its own building further south, close to the riverfront. There was even a resident rabbi, Barnett Kaplan, who also served as the shochet and provider of the ritually prepared meat for kosher consumption. The rabbi stayed until 1921. The building housed viable services until 1931. For another half dozen years, there was no formal services being conducted in Sterling. In 1937, informal services began again, and by 1945, there were enough people to help support acquiring a new building. This site here is that building, and it was previously a bakery. Jews from other nearby small towns also attend the services at this synagogue, including places such as Dixon, Morrison, and Freeport. Over the years, the service changed from Orthodox to traditional to conservative and now reform affiliation. Back in the 1970s, I knew a person who was adept at leading the services, blowing the shofar, and reading the Torah, and each year would travel to Sterling on the high holidays to run the services. Today there is no official resident rabbi, and services are conducted only from the high holidays to the last week of May. That relies on 30-plus families in the immediate area, along with another 15 to 20 who keep in contact to offer help as it is necessary. Thank you for sharing this first trip with us through a small town in Illinois and seeking out its Jewish presence. Please look for additional episodes to come. See you soon.